What's up, guys and ladies and gentlemen? You know how we do. Welcome in, welcome in. CJ Crawls back with another one. Right, budget build update, suspension concept. We have adjustable ride height, DIY, stock SCX24 servo. Right, so this is what we got going on. Got some servo horns. Right, we'll get to that. Stock servo. We've made a copper ESC tray. This one's just, not very good, but this is the concept. The one we've got fitted is a little bit better, trimmed down. We've got a bit of space in the back for our fixings. Now, this is obviously DIY, so I've already thought of different ways of doing this. This is the cheapest way possible for me. Right, we've got stock shocks, flex blades, made from this in particular, this servo horn. Right, we cut it and we've used it to mount shocks through to the chassis. This is our method of linking the two together. So underneath, the shocks bolt to either side of our chassis brace. This one's not in there because this was our first servo we used. We burnt it out. How did we do that? By changing the horn. The saver on these is keeping this alive. So if you want to use stock servo, I recommend using the stock servo horn and saver. Right, so adjustable ride height. We've changed the electronics to allow for control. Make sure this is switched on. The body obviously yet is not mounted. Right, so truck's on. Body's obviously just an option. We've not got it mounted yet. We're just using bits of foam to look at mounting and how we're gonna do that if we choose to use this body. The base camp body does still fit on, even though we've got this. It's one of them. The body goes against the link, so it does kind of interfere with the travel. But yeah, you understand what we're working with. We've pulled the rear upper links up and over. So now the truck's on. We've got channel 6 to adjust our ride height. Shout out RC Willie. Ever since I saw your suspension mounted on the servo video, it's got my brain going. Doing this budget build, what with the flex blades, thinking travel limitations, what do we want, maximize performance. This is how I'm controlling it. And yeah, we'll get some footage of it on the course. Right, so to begin with, we're gonna leave it at our lowest ride height, and then we shall increase the ride height as and when necessary, when I feel like it may help the vehicle or the rig. As you can see, loose dirt doesn't help getting onto the course. Right, so here, I feel like we could do with adjusting the rear ride height, but we've made it over, so I'm gonna leave it for now. However, every time I come up this section, when it's like this, we're gonna see. So look now, it's catching on the links. We could do with, or the skid, sorry, on the rear. So that's just holding the truck back. Right, I'm gonna back up. Try and keep it from falling. Right, now we're going to adjust our ride height. So the servo's not got all the power to move it in certain positions. So obviously this is the budget concept. But now you could hear that servo then. So that was it at full extension on channel 6. So I haven't set any endpoints. These servos don't like being maxed out and left in the maxed out position. But now we've adjusted it to the increased ride height, we've got the travel for the climb. So straight away, the adjustable ride height, the concept works. So here we're gonna come to the descent. Now I'm gonna lower it to try and hold the rear down as much as possible. See, that's sucked down now, right? And it just allows us to keep our weight lower for our descent. Let me know what you think. So here, I mean, could do with a bit more clearance. So straight away, gonna raise it up. So as you can see, there's a bit of delay because it doesn't like being under too much load, the servo, but we've still managed to adjust it with the stock servo. More clearance. This may actually help with certain inclines as well. Well, like we've already demonstrated, it does help with certain inclines, but you know what I mean, not every incline's the same. Bear with me. Requires very much concentration. We've got Endura MB100 brushed electronics, so we've got a bit more throttle control. However, these tyres are not the one, or it's not the tyres to be fair, I think it's the foams. They're a bit stiff. Right, bear with. Right, we've repositioned the rig, had a phone call, so I had to pause. Suspension set back to the neutral position on channel 6. So servo centered currently. Servo centered. We've got a little bit of room either way. Up and down. So we return back to center. We proceed through the course and we shall re-engage our adjustable suspension as and when I feel needed. This is so much more capable than I imagined it to be. Messed up the line already. Right, I'm just going to take the reposition for demonstrational purposes of the video. This is going to be our climb. This stump is almost vertical. Might have messed up that. There we go. Got a bit stuck there between a rock and a hard place. As you know, these cheap servos aren't always the greatest. Right. So, neutral position. See, we're struggling. Right, so we're gonna adjust our ride height and we're gonna increase the travel, we're gonna raise it up. Right, there we go. So we've raised the ride height up, putting maximum load on our shocks at the rear. Now let's see how we Okay, we'll take that. You know, doesn't always work out first time on camera. It did actually, off camera it worked first time. I got straight up and over after adjusting the ride height. Hopefully I can do it again. Might need to just adjust it a little. Boom, we made it. Straight away, adjustable ride height, DIY budget win. In a little bit of a pinch here. There we go, wiggled our way out. Got the rear wheel wedged under the rock there. This course is not for the faint of heart. It's not kind on rigs, and you definitely have to think about every move you make. Suck down, traversing through. Obviously with a body we wouldn't even be attempting this. I'm just trying to see what this thing can and can't do. Okay. How is it sticking to that? There we go. Right, so that's with ride height at full squat. We're gonna attempt to adjust it even though we're in a bit of a position. So we're raised up. Getting caught on the links. Copper links are sticking at the front. There's a lot going on this climb right now. And I think that's our lipo done. No, not just yet. Battery's definitely getting low. We got no power. That's the only downside to a 2-cell. Return that to neutral, just to reduce the BEC load. Now it is adjustable. I've only got it set to 6 volts, I think. receiver hanging out. Haven't mounted that in yet, but yeah, you get the concept. I think the adjustable ride height is currently a win. I've noticed the difference in the rig, being able to change it. It's definitely given us different options when approaching obstacles. So yeah, all this cost me is one chassis brace. Changed the upper links. The copper tray has 2 bolts going from the inside out, which I've put in position, and then dropped the servo in with the horn already attached. Then obviously I've bolted that up, 1, 2, dropped a little plastic tab off the servo horn. I've only got it on one side at the minute, as you can tell. Didn't go through the lengths of putting 2 in if I wasn't sure it was going to work, but I think it's working. Managed to get this reasonably dialed for a stock system. If we was to put a better servo in, we would have to change the tray if the size was different, but that's already concepts I've got planned out in my head. Yeah, you never know what the future may hold. Let me know what you think. If you watch to the end, make sure you smash that like and subscribe. Until next time, peace.